Good morning, it's Monday, of course, the beginning of a new week, and you're welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS TV network. My name is Merciful Ajinomo. Join us in the studio to analyze some stories on the newspapers this morning is Aditobo Felix. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you doing?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, good. We have a couple of newspapers this morning as always, and let's begin from the Daily Trust newspaper. The banner headline there is dozens killed in Niger, Katsina, Kaduna attacks. We have a couple of riders there on the front page. A terrorist overrun Niger security base, kill 11 operatives. Bandits sack Zamfara village despite 7 million naira levy. Attacks giving us sleepless nights, Katsina Emir tells Osinbajo. And the Vice President says there will be change soon. And all of that can be found on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. It's another year, 2022, and of course it's the year where people are focusing on election. And now we're seeing like big attacks since the year started. What's your take on this story?
Reading this story this morning brought to me again that sadness, the sorrow, that we witnessed throughout last year. And now this is January again, we're having this again. And I think this is not even the first this year. I think some have been happening. But this one that happened over the weekend is quite unfortunate. And this really shows that to Kano jet alone is not the solution.
No, it's not.
This is just, another evidence. Because going by some of the reports, that came out from all this particular story, so some people who talked about it said they came with some sophisticated weapon, they overran the security forces and the rest, and that shows that what our military men, our policemen, what are they carrying? This is apart from Tucano jet, what are they carrying? Those on land. So I think we really need to do something urgently. And one of the riders, it's so funny for the VP saying that. What is it? It's saying that the change will soon come or something like that.
Yes, there'll be a change soon.
He said there'll be a change soon. It'll change.
How
when?
soon?
How
because
soon?
We've been having this news.
They spent 7 years in power now. It's still telling us that there'll be change soon. People keep dying on a daily basis, and such a statement is still coming up. And look at, people paying 7 million naira levy before they could go to farm. And they even said that in Zamfara State, they even said even the farms, going to the farm is not, you paying that money does not even guarantee
your safety.
Your safety does not even guarantee what you even plant in the farm. At times it will come and destroy the whole thing. This takes us back to the particular rice pyramid they told us of. Although secrets have been coming out, we've been hearing a lot of things coming out. See, I don't know. This is disheartening. I just wish and hope that the JTF, we had that, it's not Niger State, that the JTF, sure local governments in Niger State are facing, that local government is facing a whole lot of problems as I speak to you. And the chairman of that local government also attested to this, I think the government has to do more. The JTF, the security JTF, needs to do more to see how to just get this thing, to nip it in the bud. It's really escalating. Seriously.
Totally agree with you. We have just 11 months to go for this year to be over before the next next leadership comes on board. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, of course, we have other stories there. 2023, tricky storms before Atiku. That's found on page 17 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And the how gunmen cut off my wrist coming from a 25-year-old mechanic, and that's on page 37. And then doctors to federal government pay our salary arrears training fund, that's on page 11 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And then Zamfara trip, your claim mischievous presidency replies PDP, that's on page 8 of the Daily Trust newspaper. From the very top, we see CBN reduces ATM interbank transfer charges, and Ekiti governorship, anger over outcomes of APC PDP primaries, and then 281 Nigerians crypto account restricted over security concern. That's found on page 21 of the Daily Trust newspaper. We move over to Nigerian News Direct. Our banner headline there is Kaduna attack. Federal government vows to end insecurity. And then the writer says, as bandits burn 30 houses, kill 11. And Emir of Katsina says, dialogue with bandits has failed, kill them. And that's coming from the Emir of Katsina State right there We can get our story on page 3 of the Nigerian News Direct. From the very top, self-employment, Dangote Cement empowers 245 youths in host communities. And then Oba Oyedotun tells Oyetola you will triumph over your detractors. We see other stories right there. Data privacy law critical to drive digital economy agenda, Pentami. That's on page 16 of the Nigerian News Direct paper this morning. Then talking about in quarter, the Abuja in quarter paper, the banner headline there is Power Tussle keeps Abuja pupils at home. Chairman Education scribes war over recruitment. FCTA absolves self of blame. And then still on the front page there, talking about 2023 election, Osinbajo Tinubu to fall out. That's coming from Primate. We can get out on page 3. And then school centers, FCTA threatens to shut down non-cooperative schools. And that's on page 5 of the newspaper. From the very top, Babangida Ali, why Jonathan could not crush Boko Haram. That was a feature on page 3 of the newspaper right here. And then our area councils doing little for our communities, coming from residents. And we can get out on page 15 of the newspaper. Let's go back to the Daily Trust newspaper. From the very down there, we see doctors to federal government. They say pay our salary arrest, training fund. We spoke about the number of doctors we have and the hospitals who were crying the other day for low doctors, low staff to attend to patients. And now we're having another issue. Doctors are talking to the federal government that they should pay their salary arrears and training fund. What's your take on this story?
Whenever we make promises, we should try as much as possible
to fulfill them.
To fulfill it. And the most interesting part is that even the Minister of Labor happens to be a medical doctor himself. So I think they should find a way to meet up with all these demands. Our health sector should be prioritized. And if our doctors are not happy, our nurses are not happy, then tell me, how will the common man that is sick, how will he survive, especially in this harsh condition that we find ourselves, especially under this government. So the federal government has to do the needful by making sure that every money being owed to these people should be paid to them. That is just the only thing.
Okay. We have the Blueprint newspaper right here. From the very top, we see Nigerian tech market low on merger acquisition. That's coming from Flutterwave co-founder. We can get that on page 24 of the Blueprint newspaper. CBN goes after loan defaulters in new operational guidelines. That's on page 24. And we have another story on page 23. Hanifa, we're committed to seeking justice, coming from the ex-NBA president. And then we see presidency to PDP. Attack on Buhari over aborted Zamfara visit. Shameful. We have 2 riders. Assures president will return to accomplish his mission. Says opposition hanging onto lies to leave. And then on page 21, we see 5 suspects arrested over killings, robbery in Osun communities. And that can be found on the Blueprint newspaper. The banner headline there is how gunmen raided, killed 25 in Zango Kataf, Niger in fresh attacks. Of course, we've spoken about that story. And then just underneath the picture of the day there, we see Igbobi College. Igbobi College has shown how visionary leadership can impact generations. That's coming from Osinbajo, the Vice President of Nigeria. That story is on page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. And talking about 2022, Bamidele says, I'll challenge outcome of Ekiti APC primary in court. And then we see Nimasa pays 37.6 billion naira into Federation account, investigates 12 accidents in 2021. That's on page 24. Sanction leaders undermining National Convention, Lukman tells APC. We can get out on page 15. And talking about our stakeholders at Deloitte Roundtable, commend federal government on implementation of economic plans. That's on page 24 of the Blueprint newspaper right here. And don't forget, you can stay updated on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. Our social media platforms are right there at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Don't forget to be a part of it and make sure you are engaged to make sure that you do not miss out on amazing things happening, of course, bad, good, and ugly in Nigeria and across Africa. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix Adetobo, for joining us today. And thank you, viewers. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.